Now, this is a video that I want to make for some time to see the evolution of Bless Unleashed from when it's launched until now. So there's been a slew of changes and a lot has been reworked to better fit community and playstyle and saving the player from time invested to rewards at the end kind of game or goal. So those kind of decisions that they've made now has been absolutely fantastic. I was a skeptic for quite some time, and after diving back in, you know what? The changes are decent. Now, the people that have left might even consider coming back, and the people that are looking for an MMO in 2020, specifically for Xbox PC version release in 2021, should potentially check it out. It's free, you're not going to lose anything but your time, and in my opinion, it's definitely worthwhile. So let's take a look at why it's so appealing at the moment. Before we get into it and venture through all the changes that have happened, guys, if you like these videos, please remember to keep liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me, growing this community and making these videos. I enjoy it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Links in the description below to my Twitch channel. That's every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, which have been shortened a bit, but I promise you we'll still be doing our community runs. So let's get into all these changes, and some of the changes are bloody fantastic. Now, obviously the biggest changes that they've made is the Enchanting System. Now, the Enchanting System was a little bit, how you going? It did require a lot of cores and a lot of star seeds, and a lot of people didn't want to take that time invested. But now, as you can see, the star seeds to upgrade something is significantly lower, which is great. The cores are still expensive, but now there's a thing called fail stacking. So with every kind of fail and break that you get, increases your chances exponentially to finally succeeding. Now, there are tons of methods. I'm not going to go through this video, but there are quite a lot of Reddit posts and YouTube guides, as well as people just commenting on Discord about what's the best way. And I have my way, which we'll probably talk about on stream later on. But for now, just want to quickly go over the changes, and the changes are great. Instead of 100,000 star seeds, it's 12,000. Now, I don't think anyone can really complain with that. Yes, they're still breaking, but at least you're getting percentages to get that next success. And yes, there's still repair tools and whatnot, but you can still kind of brute force it without feeling, I guess, as bad. Now, if you still want to use Master, that's fine too. You can go over to the Master and you can still kind of brute force it, but it requires sigils, and honestly, to do that, they're quite expensive at the moment. I think last time I checked, they're 19k. If they were 10k, you could kind of just go, well, I'm just going to brute force it on Master and just go, whatever. Again, the star seeds are quite low, 38,000 versus, you know, that 100,000 we were talking about before. But it doesn't make sense to do it from 0% enchantment rate, where we're talking about the fail stacking. But it might be maybe 2 or 3 months down the line, but by then I think we'll start seeing better gear, better quality gear, specifically S grade, or what we're thinking to be S grade. We don't know, but we'll see. But for all intents and purposes, the Enchanting System changed, and it's for the better. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about with all the changes that have happened, now with all the regional quests, they drop purple gear instead of blue gear, which is amazing. It's amazing because now you get the purple gear. One, if you're a new player, you get purple gear for free. You shouldn't really have any issues upgrading your gear to purple by this point in the game, but it does offer additional cores when breaking them down. And by doing all your regionals now, which most of us had to do during the leveling process, and I wish we had this then, so now it's super duper easy to get cores because most of these regionals are dropping purple gear. Now, the other thing to note is that some of these regionals will have the sigils as well. So, as well as upgrading stones and whatnot. The boxes will also have the ability or chance to get chest keys. So instead of getting your daily chest keys and that's it, you now have other options to get more keys. So that means you can open more chests. You do still have to do significant content. If you were a person like myself that didn't bother with the regionals anymore, it actually kind of entices you to log on and not just log in, log off for your Starseed collection. It kind of says, well, you might as well jump in, get all this purple gear, grab the boxes, and get all your cores, potential for Starseeds and all the rest of it. There are many events going on at the moment, the Salamander being one of them. Not too sure how I'm going to go with that, but we'll definitely see this week. But these regional changes are, in my opinion, massive, and it's potentially massive for new players that don't know any different. It's smoother. The transition's smoother from obtaining lower gear to upgrading your gear as you go. Yes, with the fail stacking like we just spoke about, as well as finding the cores now throughout the game. Almost everything that you do is rewarding you with significant cores. Absolutely a fantastic change. Now, for anyone that's thinking, well, what happened to the key market, farm, whatever you want to call it? It got destroyed. By obtaining keys from other activities daily and allowing everyone to participate in this, it meant that the abyssal keys went from 180k to 57k. That's a huge difference, right? So that's the abyssal key, and the normal key went to 50k. So now if you get one piece of good gear and you sell it for 500k average, I would say, that means you can go in, buy 10 keys, rush for blinding execution or whatever you want to do, and it's not as painful as spending 100k-ish a pop, where a chance to get gear or not. Personally, 50k, I feel like I'll roll the dice. I mean, there is a high chance not to get anything, as we know, but you would still feel better rolling the dice with 50k than 100k. Or abyssal keys, which was almost unthinkable to purchase to have a chance of 50k abyssal keys. I'm thinking about buying them all right now. The other things that I like is the regional bosses. They are fun, they are pretty enjoyable. It is an interesting kind of view. I guess, like, I don't really jump into World of Warcraft and verse a field boss for any particular reason. It just doesn't happen. You log in to do your raid, and that's about it. Same with kind of Guild Wars and Final Fantasy. There's no real reason to do any kind of content to a point. At least with Bless, you can kind of go, well, until I upgrade all my gear to Mythic +5, I can do all this stuff. I can run around with my friends and enjoy it and talk, I guess, shit as we all kind of tend to do. But it isn't bad. Like, the graphics isn't bad. You know, I still love my mage. I don't think I'll ever stop playing my mage. But I will be picking up a Crusader on my returning to stream this Monday. So it will be interesting to see how other classes play. I am keen to play like a melee, but we'll see how we go. I am the first person to say I cruise YouTube constantly for new MMORPGs to play. It's true. Almost on the daily. I will go in and hopefully that something has launched within a 24-hour window, because I am sick and tired of playing the same things over and over again. Now, specifically, I'm talking about World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls, Neverwinter. I play all of those games at high level. So I know what these games have to offer, and to be honest, I've been coming back to Bless over the last 6 months since its launch. Why do I do that? Because it feels decent enough so I can play on a different character and enjoy the environment, enjoy the quests that constantly pop up throughout the world. I do love the combat. I've never steered away from the combat. It's relatively enjoyable. I don't find any massive issues with it. Okay, fine, I do like riding my panda from time to time. Now, the other things to keep in mind if you're particularly returning to Bless after being away for some time, the kind of interest, in my opinion, has shifted. It shifted from wanting to really do and pump PvE instead of PvE, pumping PvP. So a lot of people are dumping their PvE sets potentially at, well, more specifically at max level or endgame, and going PvP, doing red base and playing, you know, guild versus guild, open world PvP, and that's really the game that we were kind of wanting in the first place. So it is kind of interesting how there's new items that have come out that introduces kind of a PvP more element with potion healing and defensive, offensive, and defensive. So me for one, kind of will probably be doing the same. So the last thing that I'll kind of cover really quickly, they've added unique class skills, which is really cool. So there are a little bit more of diversity when you're building your character. It's not so much just go down one kind of skill tree. You now have that option for skill trees, which is still fine, but now you have the ability to slot unique class skills in. So I've gone Amplify, and there's Time Distortion and Consecrate and Frost Shields for PvP and all these kind of things. I'm not going to go through this right now because it could take me a whole video to do. Probably one of the most notable ones is the ability to go into dungeons. Now, they've pretty much abolished the leveling requirements. Now, I welcome this change. I welcome this change because it means that people don't have to grind their absolute asses off for level 35 and level 36, which was the most recent kind of dungeon releases. So they've actually said, you know what? No more of that. As long as you have the gear score required to go in to participate in these dungeons, you can do so, which is great. So you can pretty much smash your ults to level 30, and it sounds a little bit daunting, but it's not too bad considering you can get 25, 26 in a day, knowing sensible pathing and having the gear and whatnot. It's not too bad. So now you can actually swap gear from your main to your ults, farm more boxes, get more daily keys, that immersive experience, and the ability to participate in more content. Like we were saying before, if you are a hardcore MMO Bless Unleashed player, it's now more suited to you. It's basically saying, well, we're going to reward you with that time and effort that you've put in, instead of getting yourselves to 35, 36, which takes a considerable amount of time, when most people will agree. Now you can get to 30 and people can go, well, that's great. Now I can get to 30, I can hop to my Crusader, my Berserker, my Ranger, my Mage, my Priest, whatever, and participate in the same content for more chances of drops. This is a huge welcomed change. It probably should have been like this from day one. It doesn't matter, it's here now. Fantastic. Fantastic. And guys, that's all I'm going to go through with this video. Should you return to Bless? Should you give it a chance? If you honestly like an MMORPG, should you give it a chance? Yes. Why? It's free. If you've got an Xbox, jump in. Should you look at it and go, well, I'm on the borderline whether to purchase an Xbox? At this point in time, I probably would say don't. Like I said, the PC players, it is released in 2021, a different version, I am sure. If you're a hardcore Bless universe fan like myself, playing in multiple releases of Bless Online, being a completely different game, I went out and bought myself an Xbox. I couldn't stay away. I still can't stay away. I enjoy it thoroughly. If you guys think that the changes were fantastic or not, I mean, I'm more interested to hear about what you guys think that should have been implemented sooner. I know a lot of these changes that I've gone through now are fantastic. And yeah, they probably should have been implemented at a much earlier date to keep that sustained with players. But it seems like they're very confident in their player base and their growth, and they're expecting to grow further with more endgame content on the horizon. So it will be interesting to see and hear your comments below, and I am returning to stream from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday moving forward, guys. I've been away for so long, but I am keen, very keen, to get back into it and see you all very, very soon. So we'll talk then. Take care for now.